Alrighty guys, so welcome back to the world's worst cycling YouTube channel. I haven't uploaded a video in forever, so I uploaded a video yesterday. It was just a catch-up vlog, called it the comeback vlog, but we'll see how we go. I'm planning to get a video a week up. That will include videos like this, which are race breakdowns. Now, I don't have data overlay on this. Don't kill me. I'm figuring it out, okay? From what I understand. Sorry, I just heard a knock on a door, and I think it was ours, but I don't think that it was ours now. Because we actually live in an apartment complex, it's quite hard to get to our front door, so yeah, you know. Anyway, from what I understand with the race footage, to do the data overlay, you need a program called Garmin Verb. You need to import your data from your Garmin or your Wahoo or whatever. In my case, it's a Garmin. Your data from your GoPro, and then you can do the overlay that way. If anyone else knows of another way that may be easier, let me know. I'll give it a crack. But for now, this video, I don't have data overlay. This is the Footscray Cycling Club criterium on a Thursday afternoon in summer. This crit is pretty fun. It's around almost a purpose-built circuit. I think it's a driver training course. It does have some rough sections, like right here. This whole back straight area is pretty bad. That's a full-on crosswind. We're into a tailwind here, which you'll see. I'm being a little guy. You know, the wind isn't really my friend, but I try to use it to my favor to hurt some people. We are on course with another grade here today. They do run A grade with us here as a separate race, so you will see the marshal come up beside us at points and tell us to move the hell over, let A grade through. And when they do, they come through a lot quicker than us, so you can understand why. Now, this bit here again is a crosswind, but it's a long sweeping corner. I used that to save myself a few times later on in the race. We head here into an uphill. This is the first real lap of the crit. That first, in quotes, lap is more of a rollout, so I just sat on the front quite steady. Once we get to here, I just try and make it hard for everyone else here today. You know, for me, I'd have to win from a reduced bunch. Even if I wanted to top 5, I'd have to do that from a reduced bunch. With the guys that are here, they're quite strong. And I'd come off a summer of no real actual racing, just a couple of club crits back in the end before I moved. So just trying my best to get into the groove here. I think this is maybe my second crit with Footscray, probably my third or fourth crit since I'd moved down here. I did one with St Kilda and a couple with Coburg. But yeah, so this guy here, he's quite strong. He does come through to the front a few times, but he always seems to surge when he does. So as you can see, I had to put a little bit of an effort to get back in with him, and I decided to just come straight around him. The reason for that was, if someone's going to surge, you really don't want them on the front. So I really just wanted to get back around him and just keep my pace. He then just came straight back past me. Obviously, he's got a little bit of weight behind him. When the wind hits him, he gets moving. As you can see here, we're coming into that uphill headwind section again. So I thought, you know what, let's make your life hard, Mr. 62. And I just put in a little bit of an effort. get here, this is I believe another guy coming around. No, it's the same guy again. As you can see, he's pushing a big gear, trying to just grind through that wind. It was quite a strong headwind, as you can see, quite exposed here. That's Phil there. Phil's a really good guy. He really likes to animate the race all the time. You can see we've got the right idea, sitting right to the side of him in the crosswind. That number blowing around, not so aero, not gonna be the best for him in these conditions. So Phil's really known for animating these races and getting out the front and really just driving it on the guys. So I found that out in my first crit with FCC. So I thought, if Phil's going to put in any effort, I'm putting in an effort too. Sorry if I seem a little bit sort of out of it here. It is 10 o'clock at night. I did just drop Taylor at work and completely voice over this whole video to realize that my microphone didn't actually pick anything up. So I changed microphones now. Quality is probably not as good, but at least it'll pick everything up. I do have a coffee here that Tay made me when she started work, so hopefully that'll get me through until 2 AM when she finishes. But right now, as you can see, that first lap was quite hard. You can see some guys here that had dropped out of the back. I'm just getting myself to the back a little bit here, just to save my legs a little bit in preparation for the rest of the race. You know, you can see a lot of these guys are quite a bit stronger than me when you look at them. Their legs are quite big. You look at me and I'm quite small. Not ideal for these conditions here, the wind or the type of race that it is. My only real chance is when we get to that uphill, just lighting it up, which I try to do a few times, you'll see. Yeah. Just taking a minute here to catch my breath back after a few good pulls. See some guys grabbing some water, so I do the same thing there. Sorry for anyone with OCD that's having a mind I don't know even what you'd say, but if it's anything like me right now, I'm seeing my two hands uneven on this screen and it is absolutely torturous. I think I've fixed that with my camera since then. I do have a few videos banked up that I can edit up and put up. Some of them, I don't know, camera wasn't right, GoPro wasn't right I should say, and I lost some footage. One of them I hadn't deleted the footage from the race before, so I actually ran out of space on the card. But I do have some footage from the Trobe Autumn Classic. That race was awesome. I didn't end up too far up the front. That's actually the one where where I forgot to delete footage from the race before and I ran out of space on the card. But I do have a good solid 12 minutes of footage from that race. We did actually only get 20 minutes of racing in that day before the race was closed off. There was a bit of an accident. But there we go, we have an A-grader coming past us. That's a single rider and a breakaway. So we're all sticking to the left now. That is the ride marshal up there. I got a little bit carried away with my story there. Ride marshal to the right there, just keeping us all in order. We're just got to wait until the rest of the group comes past now that he's gone past, until it's safe for us to go back to proper racing again. So here come the other guys. The guy there from Dre Pack on the front. The Australian Dre Pack, that is. And a couple of guys from the Peddler and a couple of Footscray Cycling Club riders. They're out there in the A grade. Sorry if there's any other sort of teams in there that I didn't really recognise. I am still pretty new to the whole scene down here in Melbourne and actually racing with pro riders. Actually, like turning up to a race and seeing pro riders. The first crit that I turned up to was the St Kilda crit, and the names that were there you would not believe. So we're talking guys like Raphael Feinstein. I've raced at crits when, you know, we've had guys from Nero Bianchi there, guys from Van Dam Racing, GPM Stools. It's quite wild, actually, you know, just knowing that you're there racing, and they are too. You know, as a very amateur cyclist, that you know, you go out and you race hard, and you're like, man, that was quick, and then you sit down and you watch the A grade boys after you, and you're like, damn, I was so slow. You know, like I've finished quite close to the front in some of these races, but even then, you know, I sit down and watch the A grade guys racing, and I just go, wow. There's nothing else you can say, really. They race for 10 to 15 minutes on average longer than us, and their race time is no slower than ours. Their average speed is a lot faster than ours, I should say. So like they do triple the amount of laps, like not really, but they do a ridiculous amount of laps. Like I think the craziest one was a Coburg one, and again they raced A and C grade together. In that one, I think, you know, ours was a hour crit, yeah, and they were an hour and 15. And I believe they lapped us 5 times in our hour. Like, that's just wild. Again, you can see I've lit it up over the top there. Got away a little bit. I was hoping that someone would come with me. A few times that I went over the top, a few people did come with me, so this might be one of them. I'm sitting right to the edge here, so when I go around this corner, no one's gonna get a sit from me if they are trying to sit on me. So if they want to, they're gonna have to come around me in the wind and give me a little bit of some rest, like this guy right here is having to do. Now, by the looks of it, this time I got really closed down, and Phil attacks as soon as I got closed down. That is the perfect attack by Phil. You know, no one's gone with him. I've just done a massive dig. I'm not closing it down. It's going to leave it to everybody else to close that back down. So as you can see, this guy, he's not having a bar of it. He's taking a sip of his water. He's like, no, I'm not chasing that down. I just chased this skinny little shit down. No one else is coming around as yet, so everyone else is you know, pretty much hurting. So we know right now, Phil's just getting away from us. I think it got to a point where I got a little bit worried and thought, you know what, I'm going to have to actually start to pull here. But I believe Phil may have faded before that and was starting to come back to us. So he's already starting to come back to us here, and I've gone, no, I'm just going to have to. So I've got on the front here, pushed it up the climb, out of a saddle, trying to just either get across to him to be able to help and get away, or just bring him back to the bunch, because for me, him up the road and me sitting in a peloton of sprinters is not ideal. Right now, there goes A grade bias again. It's a breakaway from A grade, and we get attacked as soon as we get Phil back. Ideal situation again. So these guys, they don't like doing a pull on the front, but they do know how to attack really well. I'm in a little bit of pain right now, so I'm just trying to sit myself back into the group after doing that pull to get Phil back on. So I've just missed a wheel there, so I know I'm going to have to make an effort here to get back on. So it's into the tailwind, so I'm just looking for anything I've got. Again, I miss a wheel again. Didn't accelerate enough to get onto it. So I know that I'm making a big effort here. And look, I see this guy, again, not enough acceleration to get on, or didn't even try to accelerate. But I know that this is coming into a headwind and the whole bunch is going to sit up as soon as they get there. So I know I'm sort of safe there, but if anyone was to go, I wouldn't have made that selection. As you can see, I think that's like 4 or 5 guys in front of this group have decided to go. And I'm really hurting right now. I actually wish I had done an overlay for this because it would show, I think my heart rate would be through the roof. But I did know that this was coming up, this uphill section here, and I'd be able to get back through. So, this being a full criterium, 45 minutes of me speaking is not ideal. But let's see how far we get through this before I decide to chuck some tunes on. It is quite an exciting race though. There's no shortage of attacks and no shortage of me overexpending myself and falling back to the back of the group. Here we go, another guy coming through. Just saves me having to close that last little bit of the gap. So it gets me there. Back with the peloton now. Into the uphill headwind section. See a couple of guys. They're all sitting up. No one's really having a good dig here. So I think this is a perfect time to move myself, back into the group. And we see someone go over the top of the climb. So whole group strings out. It's not really power on, but no one's really letting that get away. You can see he's got a few bike lengths, but not too much. Try to let this guy come back in. Marshall's coming around again to tell us that A grade are coming past. Keep left, you slow buggers. Watch these guys actually ride a bike. That's literally the words that came out of his mouth. I'm not just making that up. Okay, I'm probably making that up, but someone's got to make this funny, right? And just a little bit about, let's stick off the subject of the race for a minute while this all calms down for A grade to come past us. We're all doing something a little bit naughty here. We're sticking a little bit to the middle of the road. We should be right to the left, but we're not. One thing I've noticed about racing down here is in Queensland, in northern New South Wales, it seems to be more of a social thing, the old racing, whereas down here, as much as it is still social, I've got a good group of guys that I know down here now, say around about 5 or 6, and that's over a summer of crit racing and half a season of the road series. I've stopped doing the road racing at the moment. I just wasn't really having too much fun. A lot of family things came up, so I just ditched the road racing altogether. I haven't been riding my bike at all for the last 2 to 3 weeks, but I've set myself a goal now with my coach Morgan Pilley. I'm going to, I should say, race the Cunningham Classic, which is Gatton to Warwick in Queensland. I raced it last year and did quite well. Quite well. I sprinted for 10th place, and we all know my sprinting capabilities, so I got 11th. And I really enjoyed that race. I was on the back end of a separation. Realistically, I was in a stupid spot. This guy had been sitting out pools a long time, trying to catch his breath back after the climb. We were trying to chase the breakaway back of, I think, 5 or 6 riders. We're all pulling through very strongly. He came through on the front, rolled off. I came through on the front, rolled off. I rolled back looking for him to come past me. He did not come past me. The end of the group came past me. I tried to sprint back on, and the group and just kept riding away from me. I just lost the end of the wheels. I couldn't get on, and yeah, I pretty much threw my race away there. I spent the good part of the next 40 Ks solo, slowly chasing and catching riders. Each one I'd catch, they'd say, "Yep, I want to chase. I'll jump in with you." Awesome, good to hear. And then I'd flick my elbow and no one was there. I'd dropped them. Got one guy and I said to him, "Hey dude, you want to chase?" He goes, "Nah, race is over, mate." I went, "Yeah, whatever." Continued chasing. Looked over my shoulder after about 5k of that. He was there. I went, "Oh, okay." Kept pressing on, chasing on. After 10k's, he was there, so I flicked my elbow, like, "Come around." And I'm toast, he goes. So he didn't come around. Kept going. We get about probably say 5k, maybe 10k from the end. I flicked my elbow again. He came around, did a pull of around about 1 kilometre. "No, I'm done, man." Pulls back in behind me. Alright, sweet. Come down the hill into the finish, and it's a downhill into a left-hander, uphill sprint. I come out of that, and I give it a little kick because I thought, may as well get him off of my wheel while we're here, just in case he tried anything. And when I gave it a kick, it was already 3 meters on the outside of me, and probably a bike length in front of me. So stupid tactics on my part. I should have attacked into the corner and followed it out, but I didn't. I thought he was done. I played myself, really. But yeah, so I've set that goal. I'm also going to race the Tour of Bright. Now, that seems to be a race that's appealed to me for a long time, and for good reason. It's something, sort of a really mountainous sort of area there, somewhere where I should do okay. With my training that's been going on at the moment, I feel like it's something that I can do really, really well. So we'll see how it goes. Again, here I am on the front, pressing on, just trying to split them up a little bit at least. If I can't, it's okay, but I really just want to just split everyone up a bit. Looks like this guy's got the same sort of idea. He comes around me. He sort of realizes what I'm trying to do. he comes through, presses it on a little bit more too. I was expecting someone else to come, but they didn't. As here, this was probably the best part. You didn't have to look over your shoulder really, because you can look into your shadow here, and I can see here it's us three at the moment. The group, we have got a little bit of a gap on the group. You'll see in a second. Not really. We had enough of a gap on the group that I thought, hey, we might be able to make something work here. But with the variable winds on this course, the really strong headwind, the really strong tailwind, and the crosswinds, no one really wanted me in a group with them unless it was the peloton, because there was no hiding behind me on that headwind, and it seemed to be the only part where I was actually able to give some help. Just caught a guy that was up the road in front of us. He attacked a little while ago when I was on my long ass story about the Cunningham Classic. But this year also, the Cunningham Classic comes after the Darren Smith? Yeah, the Darren Smith Classic, which is a hell of a hard race. I raced it last year. I did almost die. So it's literally the week after that this year. So the good thing for me is I'm not doing the Darren Smith, I'm just doing the Cunningham. And the Darren Smith, the Cunningham, the Tailgun Cup, they're all part of a series called Queensland Classics Series. So anyone that's racing Cunningham will more than likely want to do Darren Smith the weekend before. Here we go, another attack by us here. So that'll be Phil trying to split us all up because they've caught us, and he's got company this time. As you can see, I'm shifting some gears. Whoop, just dropped my phone. I'm shifting some gears here to try and get some speed up down this straight with the tailwind. But they've just already got the jump on us. No one's coming around to pull through again. Surprise, surprise. It seems that down here nobody likes to work. Everyone loves sprinting. But yeah, I just try my best to pull it back. I know where my strength is. This guy decides, hey, let's give this skinny bastard a hand. Same with this guy. But everyone likes to sit second wheel. I've noticed that. If you're not on the front, literally everyone wants to be in front of you. No one wants to be first wheel. No one wants to be riding into the wind. They want to be, you know, the second rider in line. No one wants to be on the front. And if you force someone to go onto the front, they don't like it. Yeah, it's quite strange. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, Darren Smith, it's quite a hard race. I did it last year. I do not envy the guys that are doing it this year. But it's the weekend before Cunningham, so good luck to them all, because I'd like to have fresh legs coming into Cunningham. I would not like to have Darren Smith legs. My legs hurt for a good week afterwards. I wasn't able to put any power out. It was a revolting race, to be honest. But should be fun. As you can see here, Phil's still off on his own. We've caught one of the escapees, and I'm trying to catch Phil now. And we're on to Phil. Now guys, what happens whenever we catch someone in a breakaway? We attack. So I continue to press on here. I'm not doing the best job of attacking, but I did continue to press on. As you can see, I'm in the drops. 90% of this race I spent on the tops, but I'm now in the drops, shifting that gear, trying to just get into this hill. You can see I'm out of the saddle up here, just trying to get a little bit of momentum up this hill, just try and break a few guys away. I'm downshifting like crazy, just trying to. I've now stood up over the top of the hill, and coming down it, just setting back down now, just trying to settle in. This guy just decided he was going to close down my gap, didn't get that much of a gap. I believe that's A grade coming around the outside of us. Two riders have come through from my grade here, just trying to get past us. A grade are right through now, but I think the whole peloton came with these guys and I got shut down real good, if I'm right. Yeah, there's some more behind me, so that was right. But these guys obviously didn't want anyone getting up the road, so they're trying to set a high pace, but Phil just says, no way, I'm going, and he attacks into the tailwind. He really does like that point of attack. I notice at every crit he goes there. I've never seen him go into the headwind that I can remember, but a lot of the time, my heart rate's pretty high. I'm pretty dead. These guys, they're not keen on closing that down. Look, he's looking over, who's coming through? Other old matey there on 61. He's having a sip of water. He's not chasing that down. So this crit was 40 minutes plus 2, I believe. So that means very shortly, in around about 9 minutes, we're going to be coming close to the bell lap. But these guys, like I said, they don't really... Ooh, I hope you guys couldn't hear that. These guys don't really like to be on the front. So once again, we come into this headwind section and skinny little Jake is on the front. I do think this is probably the best time for me to be on the front though. I don't punch such a big hole in the air. So for me, being able to sit in everywhere else and then give no one really any sort of respite in this headwind, it's probably the best. Because they're all going to be, going hard just to get on me. Right now, that's an A grader, and Phil, I've now passed them, so we now await for an attack. This is just closed down that attack. As you can see, there's 3 of us together here. So I must have put a little bit of a dent into the peloton there. But not long to go in the race. This isn't an ideal time for me to be away with 3 guys, because our real only options here are for everyone to work together. And as you can see, I'm off to the side here. No one wants to work. Phil attacks again. He goes solo. Where's everyone else? I've sat up, I'm soft pedaling right now, forcing someone to come through. It's it's not ideal. Phil had brought the whole peloton back to us, by the way, at this one. So when there was 3 of us together, after we caught Phil, he then realised, and got himself moving again, and the peloton had got on him by that stage. He then got the whole peloton back to us, and he attacked over the top as soon as they caught us. This is sort of getting to the pointy end of the race, as I was saying. So these guys right now, they're actually trying really hard, because Phil is known for trying to get away. So they've brought him back straight away. There he is. And bang, another attack goes around the outside. A whole bunch here. I'm really starting to fade by now. I don't believe I even finished with the bunch in this race. Came to the last lap and I just had nothing left. I'd put way too much work in. But these are the things that you learn as an amateur. It's the only way that you can learn is to make these mistakes. And being quite new to the scene down here in Melbourne, I wasn't quite sure how everyone raced. I didn't know any of these guys. I think before this race was the first time I'd met Phil, and he was so kind to me. I didn't really know anyone here, and then I made a fairly good friend out of that, and I was able to chat with him at all the races that I go to. He just seemed to be there as well with the crits. Not so sure with the road cycling side. I haven't seen him at any road races so far, only at crits. But as you can see here, I'm really starting to fade now. We're getting right into the end of the race, and I've done a fair bit of work. I have spent a lot of time trying to trying to hide and recover as well. But I'm not really doing too well right now. I'm just sitting on the back of the peloton. These guys are doing massive strengthies over the top. We've got 3 guys gone now. No one's really trying to chase right now. So for me, that's probably the move that I should have gone with, but I didn't. One thing too I've noticed down here is they're quite variable. They'll say it's a 40-minute crit, and then sometimes you might do, they'll say it's 40 minutes plus 2 laps or whatever. Sometimes you might do 45 minutes and then 2 laps. Sometimes it might be 30 minutes and then 2 laps. Because there's the 2 grades racing on the course at the same time, they don't want the lower grades finish to be obstructed by the upper grades finish, so they give you a bit of extra time, or they'll cut you short if they think you're going to get caught up or something like that. Which isn't too bad, but it's a bit hard to judge your effort when you don't really know. Definitely been off the front, and 40 minutes has gone by, and then 2 laps have gone by, and you still haven't got the bell, and you're going, oh no, we're in for some trouble now, boys. I've just done my max effort and I'm cooked. But it's all part of the racing, I guess. It's all part of it. And yeah, see, we just had Phil go back behind us, so that's one person I've got to be careful of to come around me to try and bridge up to that group, because he can do it. If he does, I've got to go with him. I think right now, I've got myself back to the front, I've got my breath back, coming in close to the end. See, he's number 62, I can't remember his name, and he is quite a strong fellow. He's quite a good rider. He's a big lad, but he's a good rider. So I've taken the opportunity here. I've gone, okay, no one's trying to close this down. It's got to get closed down. Otherwise, I'm not in it. That's the top 3 up the road. I'm not there. I'm not going to be there if I don't bring them back. I could have tried to attack and gone solo, but I wouldn't have. I would have been solo and had no help. At least here I've got a couple of guys that are willing to go, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to get a good finish unless we bring them back either. So they're trying as well. The commissaires are coming down to the finish line here. There's a few bigger guys trying to make a move to get up to them, and I just realised I'm not going to make it, because that's it. They've already got a gap on the group, trying to get up, try and jump on Phil's wheel here. I'm really starting to fade by now, and it's really starting to show. Struggle street, guys, struggle street. Trying to get back onto them. I just wish I had filmed more. Oh, sorry guys, I just watched that spike. I've heard that. I just wish I had filmed a few more races. Like I said, I got a little bit of filming from Latrobe. Not too much. I got a little bit there. You can see here that, they bring that gap back to those leading riders, but I'm not there, and I'm not getting on wheels to get myself there. That's me. Look, I'm out of the saddle, putting in a pretty big effort there to try and get there, and it's not happening for me. I put in an effort to get on his wheel, and I didn't even get on his wheel. You could say, I'm pretty maxed. Before moving to Melbourne, I'd never done a crit of this length. The longest crits we have back home are 15 to 20 minutes max. But yeah, this was coming in, I believe they had, maybe the 1 lap to go then. And I realised that my race is over. They did call the race a little bit early this time, as you can see, like over 39 minutes in, and they've called the bell before this, so yeah, there's some A graders coming around us again. And I just realised I'm done. I'm really done now. So I'm just going to pedal my way around to the finish. But yeah, I hope you guys, if you did stay in for the whole lot of this, thank you. If you didn't hear this. Hopefully in the near future I can get some ones up with some power overlay for you guys. As you can see right now, like I'm trying to sort of TT position this a little bit, like get a bit of an aero position to just try and hopefully get back there a little bit. I think I've given up now. I've definitely given up. I was wrong. I was not trying to get myself back on. I was well wrong. Yeah, if you guys did enjoy this, I will try and get some more up for you guys over the coming summer. It's, you know, it's the middle of winter right now, so there's no crits. But I will try to get some up for you guys. If there's any road races that happen that I get myself to, I will try to film for you guys as well. That was the end. That was the end of it right there. I'm absolutely cooked. I got my water bottle out to have a drink and I haven't even got it to my mouth yet. Yeah. Anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you didn't, just double tap the dislike button. If you did enjoy it, just single tap the like button. But yeah, hope you guys stick around to the channel. If you haven't seen any videos before from me, make sure you like this video and subscribe to see some more videos. Hopefully, like I said, some more like this. We'll definitely be trying to get a video up per week from now on. Not sure if that's actually gonna happen or not, but I'm gonna try at least one per week, maybe two if I feel good like I did this week. And I do have a short little video from the Latrobe Cycling Classic to come up as well. That one's probably going to take a little less editing than this one, so I might be able to get that one up midway next week, which will mean, guess what guys, 2 vlogs next week. Oh, well not really 2 vlogs, just 2 videos next week, because I'll also try to get a vlog up for you. As you can see, pedaling back into the finish area here to give my bib number back. Yeah, catch you guys next time.